Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Most welcome to Triangular Kamal Academy. Today I am going to discuss one of the most important topics for the students of class 9 and 10, which is set and function from higher mathematics. In the last content we have discussed few MCQ, and today I am going to discuss from number 8. And okay, give attention to the question. Number 8, there are 1 to 5 questions. So we will do in this content only 3 questions here, almost 5 questions same. So what is the requirement in question number 8? First one, find the domain and range and inverse relation of the given relation S. So there are 3 different relations, and first requirements, domain, range and inverse relations of the given relation. And second question, ascertain whether the relations S or S prime, and which is called inverse relation, are functions. And number C, are the functions among those relations are 1 or not. Okay, first attentions, find the domain, range and inverse relations. So what will be the domain? Give attention to the number 1. Number 1, 8, number 1. So domain of S are, already last content we have said here, the domain will be the first elements of the order pair. So first order pair 1 5, 2 10, second one, third one 3 15, and fourth one 4 20. So domain is the first elements of the order pair. So 1 2 3 4, and this will be 1 2 3 4, and these are the domain of the first elements. And then range of S will be, and similarly second elements of the order pair will be range of the relation 5 10 15 20. So this one will be 5 10 15 and 20. The third information, inverse relation. So inverse relation of S, inverse relation of S equal S prime, which is, just since the order pair, the first one will be second one and second one will be first one. So domain will be range and range will be domain. This 1 5 will be 5 1, and then 2 10 will be 10 2, and third one will be 15 3, and finally fourth one will be 24, and this is the inverse relation. So first information is right, and similarly from 3, domain will be half 1. So there is repeating terms, so 1 will be 1 single times, 1 half 1, and 5 by 2, and also 5 by 2 is repeating here. So domain of 3 will be half 1 only, so half 1 and 5 by 2, and domain of number 5 will be only 2. So there is 2 2 2, all repeating terms. So already we said here, if we see here repeating terms, so there will be only single times, no missing, no repeat. So 2 will be domain, and here half 1 and 5 by 2 will be domain, and here domain 1 2 3 4 5. And secondly the range, so here range will be 1 2 3, all second elements of the order pair. Here will be number 3 0 1 minus 1 2 minus 2. So all are distinct elements, so their range will be 0 1 minus 1 2 minus 2. And inverse relation, similarly just changing, 2 1 will be 1 2, this one will be 2 2 3 2, and this one will be 0 half 1 1 minus 1 1, and 2 5 by 2 minus 2 5 by 2. Just changing first elements to second elements, second elements to first elements, then relation converted into inverse relation. And now second information, number 2, ascertain whether the relations S or S prime are the functions. Okay, first information is right, and the second information, now give attention. The condition, S is function or not. In the last class we have said, when we see here repeating elements in the domain, then the relation will not be function. Here domain is 1, 2, 3, 4. So there is no repeating term. All are distinct elements. So that's why this one is a function. Here have 1, 1. So 1 is repeating domain here. 5 by 2 and 5 by 2. Both are the first elements in the order pair. So there is also repeating term in the first elements. Only first elements you have to give attention. No in the second elements of the order pair. So when we see first elements are repeating more than one times, then the relation will not be function. So this one is not function because 5 by 2 and 5 by 2 is repeating, and 1 also repeating. And there 2, 2 and 2. So this also repeating here. So 3 and 5 are not function. Here only 2 is function. So how you can write here? All elements of the, and you have to write first element of the order pair are quite distinct to each other, so S is function. In number 1, so if we just find the first S is functions, but in S prime, what, give attention, 5, 10, 15 and 20. So there is also, we see here first elements of the order pair are quite distinct, so we can also say S prime will be function. And so S and S prime, directly you can write here S and inverse function S prime are functions, because the first elements of the order pair are quite distinct to each other. Definitely first elements of the order pair are separate to each other, so you can use the word quite distinct. That's why we can say S and S prime are the functions. And so this one will not be function, this one will not be functions. But in 5, okay, give attention to the number 5 here. Number 5, S prime will be number 5, S prime will be 1, 2 and 2, 2. This one will be 3, 2. But we see here S is not the function because the first elements of the order pair are not the quite distinct, because the first elements are repeating. But when you see here the inverse relation 1, 2, 2, 2 and 3, 2, all first elements of the order pair are quite distinct to each other, so S prime will be function. Here S is not function but S prime is functions, because all first elements of the order pair are quite distinct, like 1, 2 and 3. And if the requirement is what is the domain, so domain of the inverse function will be 1, 2 and 3. So similarly, domain of the inverse function here will be 5, 10, 15 and 20. So first information is okay from number 2. Now give the third information here, information number 3 for the first question. Are the functions among those relations are 1, 1? Okay, first, if S is function, then say is it 1, 1 or not? When S is not function, just you have to find the function is 1, 1 or not. But first of condition, it must be function. Then second step will start, is it 1, 1 or not? But if the first step is wrong, S is not function, and you won't find the answer that S is not in 1, 1 or on 2 function. Okay, now give attention here, number 3. what is the relation? Is the function is 1 1 or not? Okay, first attention, S is a function. Now second step, just find is it 1 1 or not. And we see here this is not the function, so we don't need to find is it 1 1 or not. And this is not function, so we don't need to find is it 1 1 or not. If function, then second step will start, is it 1 1 or not. Okay, first one, and you have to write here when the domain and domain of the or image. Okay, right here we see here image of distinct elements also quite distinct to each other. That means range, the domain of the elements or image of the first elements are different to each other. That means also you can say here the image of the distinct elements also quite distinct. That's why you can say S will be, so S is 1 1 function. If you draw the graph here, like first elements dom, second elements range. Okay, in the number 1 domain is 1 2 3 4 and range is 5 10 15 20. The image of 1 is 5, image of 2 is 10, image of 3 is 15, image of 4 is 20. So that's why we say this one, the relation as all are the different, there is no repeating term. That's why this one is called function, and domain of the relation is 1 2 3 4 and range of the relation is 5 10 15 20, and all image of the first elements also quite distinct to each other. There is no repeating term. That's why this is 1 1 functions. And if you think S prime, the 5 to 1, 10 to 2, 15 to 3 and 20 to 4. Okay, now draw the graph of the number 5. Just you can take the decision by the figure. Number 5, we see here number 5, 2 and 2 is the domain and range 1 2 and 3. So we see here 2 1 2 2 and 2 3. What we see here, in all cases in the order pair we see 2 is the common, so it's repeating term. That's why this one is not function. This one is not function. But when we convert its inverse function, this one will be 1 1. If we convert its inverse function 1 to 2, 2 to 1 and 3 to 1, then domain of the inverse function is 1 2 3 and there is no repeating term in times of inverse function. That's why this one will be function. And is S prime is whether is it 1 1 or not? Yes, definitely it's not 1 1 because range is repeating 3 times, because all image of the distinct elements are not quite distinct because it's repeating 3 times in times of inverse function. That's why S prime is not 1 1 function. Is it function but not 1 1 function? But S is not function. And similarly we can answer number 3. Okay, again domain is the first elements, range is the second elements, and inverse function will be formed by changing the first elements to second elements to first elements. when we see the domain, there is no repeating term. That means elements of the domain are quite distinct from each other. Then the relation will be function. And when we see image of the distinct element also quite distinct, then S will be 1 function. And similarly, we can answer 1, 2 and 3 step for inverse functions. Okay, now attention to the number 9. It's one of the most important questions for MCQ test basically. Okay. Number 9. For the function f of x equal root over x minus 1, number a, find f of 1, f of 5, f of 10. And okay, first information, number 9, 9a. Given that f of x equal root over x minus 1. So now f of 1 will be 1 minus 1 equals to root over 0 equals 0. And second one, f of 5. F of 5 will be root over 5 minus 1 equal root over 4 equal 2. And number f of 10 will be 10 minus 1 equal root over 9 equal 3. These three are the answer, number 1a. And now give attention to the number b. Number b here, f of a square plus 1 equal to what? Where condition a is belongs to R. Okay. Now put the value of x is a square plus 1. So here it will be x is a square plus 1 is the value of x, then minus 1 because the variable is changing, x to a square plus 1. Now right here there will be a square plus 1 minus 1. That means there will be a square, and this one is plus minus a, or you can write here absolute value of a. And I think definitely you are thinking why I wrote here absolute value of a, because the information is given a is elements of all real number, because the real number, and you have to know what is real number, and the real number indicate this one, like this is the 0 middle position and the right side is positive infinite, this is the negative infinite. There is all positive number 1, 2 and 3 and so on, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and so on. And if we apply here 2, like if you apply value of a will be 2, this one will be 5, and if you apply here minus 2, this one also be 5, because minus 2 square will be like minus 2 square plus 1 will be 5. So there will be f of 5. And if you apply here 2, this one will be f of 5. And if you apply here minus 2, this one also be 5. Just only for the square function. That's why you have to write here value of a would be positive or negative 1. That's why we applied here plus minus 1 or absolute value of 1. So you can write here absolute value of 1. And absolute value of 1 always gives you the positive value, because when you apply here the positive value of a, like if 2, and this one will give you 1 point something. But if you write here minus 2, so this one will be basically the complex number or imaginary number. That's why final answer will be absolute value of a, and final answer will be a. But we can apply here the value of a is positive or negative 1, but the final value will be positive, because the square root of positive number will give a real number, otherwise it will give complex or imaginary number, and that's why final answer will be absolute value of a. Now give attention to the question number C. Okay, attention, question number C. This is number 9C. if f of x equal 5, then x equal what? F of x equal x minus 1, and here given f of x equal again f of x equal 5 as per as question. So we can write here, comparing these two equation, we can write here x minus 1 equal to f of x, and which is 5. Now do square on the both side. X minus 1 whole square equal 5 square, or just eliminating square and root, you will get here x minus 1 equal 25, or x equal 26, which is right answer. Now give attention question number D. Question number D, f of x equal y, then what will be value of x, and the condition is given here, y is greater than or equal 0. Question number 9D, f of x equal root over x minus 1, and f of x is also y, where y is greater than or equal 0, that is positive value. Considering these two equations, we can write here this equation, we can write here root over x minus 1 equal to f of x equal y. Just now do square on the both side. X minus 1 equal y square, that squaring on the both side, eliminating square from the root and square, this one will be x minus 1 equal y square, or x will be y square plus 1, and which is our answer. So where y is greater than or equal 0. So basically the question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is MCQ type question, and the maximum case in the board standard exam, and you have to find the functional value when the domain are given. This short question usually comes in the MCQ test. So thank you very much to enjoy this tutorial. If you have any question, please do comment. So please see again in the next tutorial. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.